That's okay. Hey guys. Driving home. We're notifying viewers that you're live.
All the way to Mommy's friend's house, all the way to Amber's house.
Hey everyone! Yay, Courtney! Chrissy! Hey Lisa! I thought this might be the easiest way while I'm post-race tired. It would be to just go live on here and start filling everybody in on the crazy shit that went down at that race. Oh my god. Let's let people get on. I'm looking at all the comments here. Oh, thanks you guys. You're gonna have to deal with Sing 2 music playing in the background because that's what my kids want to listen to, and we're gonna try to like keep them calm back there. Anyways, Riley, let me just check in with everybody. I appreciate you for going live and thinking of you all day. Oh my god, you guys have no idea how much you helped me on that course today. It was literally insane. We'll let a few more people jump on and then I'll get into sharing everything. What's up, Parker? The music? I can't put it up really loud because then nobody will hear me. I'll do a little bit louder. We got Sing 2 playing in the background. Oh my god, you guys are awesome. These comments are amazing. Chrissy, thank you. Thank you for going live. You're welcome. You literally stalked me. It was like I could feel all of the energy when I was running out there today. So okay, where do I even start? One, I have to say thank you because I literally did not go more than a quarter of a mile without hearing someone be like, Coach Alicia, I love you, or like, I want your TikToks, and then like freaking out. There's so many people, all of you guys like that had signs on the side of the road that said what runs you, and it felt so unbelievably like empowering as I was running. Okay, so for those of you guys, I don't know if any of you guys have jumped over to my Instagram, but I shared on there this morning. I kind of just rambled some thoughts after I woke up this morning, just kind of sharing that I had an ABC goal. For those of you guys that have been following me for a while now, you know that I was originally supposed to run Mesa Marathon in February. Mesa Marathon is significantly different of a course than Boston Marathon. I'd hoped to break 3 hours there, but it's like a downhill, flat, fast course. Boston Marathon course is a freaking beast. And you get a lot of downhill in the beginning, but then you get these like monsters at the end of the race. So I set an A goal to break 3 there today, but knew that I would have to really freaking work for it on that course. My B goal was to come in under 3 hours and 5 minutes, and I had to go with my, thanks Bob, I had to go with my C goal out there and abort ship. Hold on one second. What's up, Parker? He wants some of my soda, my post-race Diet Coke. I've had a whole lot of other food though too. I've had, Brian bought me like this big like grain bowl, and like, I don't know, I had a lot of stuff. What'd you say? New to your TikTok page earlier this week, an instant fan. You inspired me to start running again. Do it! Start running again. It took me 6 years to finally start racing again. And I didn't realize how much I missed it until like this past year. After I had, for those of you guys that are new to following me, I had a really big abdominal surgery a little over a year ago. And that's kind of initially what kind of re-inspired me to race again. I was like, oh my gosh, like my body feels like structurally like ready to do this again. And I've spent the last year plus rebuilding. So like I said, for those of you guys that are just jumping on, I had 3 goals for this race. A goal was to break 3 hours. B goal was to come in under 3:05. My C goal, which is your like experiential goal, like the one that really ultimately matters, is the one that like you know that you can hit and you're gonna feel proud of no matter what happens in the race. And that's the one I switched to during my race. So going into the race, I felt like relaxed, calm, focused. It felt like really nice to be going into a race and feel like I already won before I even touched the start line. That's kind of what I shared on Instagram this morning. If you guys go over to there, I shared just kind of like my first thoughts in the morning that kind of hit me, and just kind of brain dumped them down into a post and hit post. Posted the wrong number to track, but people figured it out. But in the past, when I would race, a lot of my like racing motivation was fueled by like negative emotions, like wanting to escape something, wanting to save myself in some way, wanting to like change something. This is the first race that I went into that I really felt like I had won before I got to the starting line, because I can say without a shadow of a doubt that I'm coming off of one of the happiest years of my entire life. There's so much just grace, happiness, my family just like supporting me, which they had obviously this whole time, but I haven't raced. I haven't like put it all together and finally given myself the chance to really apply in a different part of my life all the things I have coached to my athletes. And so that's what kind of made me the most excited about this. I'm like, I'm going to the start line and I just like feel so at peace right now. And like, no matter what happens out there, I'm going to be able to navigate through it and react to it in a way that isn't serving my ego, right? Like sometimes really hard shit happens when you're running, and sorry, Riley told me not to say bad words. Sometimes when you're racing, really hard things happen out there, and when you approach the race in kind of like you kind of go into it with like a chip on your shoulder, sometimes it's really hard to make the right decision for yourself, because it's like you end up making like more of an ego driven decision. And I was like, no matter what happens, I'm going to react to it in the best way that I can. And you guys, thank you so much. Like all these comments, they're absolutely unbelievable. I feel so happy right now. Okay, so moving on, get to the athlete village, and I was like, I'm gonna go to the bathroom. 3, Parker, please don't be loud with the ice. Is it distracting? Are you guys okay? Okay. And you're like, get to the point. I just want to know. So I get to the athlete village. I set myself a goal. I'm like, I'm going to go to the bathroom 3 times. Like, I want to empty my bladder before this race. I don't want to have to race and deal with having to stop to pee. And another thing too, I got my period 2 days before this race. So I was like, oh my God, like I already have to deal with that before the race. Like, don't let me have to pee. Like, let me just like go before I start. And, I was able to accomplish that. It was a little bit rushed. Did some stretching for like 10 minutes. I'm like, oh shit. Sorry, Riley. I got to get on the line again to go again. And then I left the village a little bit later than I wanted to. I got to the starting line 4 minutes before the gun went off to start. And they like shoot like a fake gun before the race to let people know to start. It's not bad.
Oh, I thought they started the race by just shooting a gun up in the air.
Riley's asking. Oh, I'm Riley. And then, oh good. You're like, most of us have kids. Yes, most of the athletes that I even coach and you guys following me are all like 35 years old. Then I have a lot of like young girls following me too, which is awesome. Okay, so I'm at the starting line and I felt really like good, set my intention. I'm like, I literally, you can still kind of see it on my hand. I wrote out my strategy on my hand. I'm like, I don't care how ridiculous this looks. I just want to check myself, and I want to make sure that when I start this race, I'm not going out harder than I should. So went out, executed that. It was a little bit frustrating though. Adidas brought me to this race. I've run it in the past. I've qualified a bunch of times, didn't run all those times that I had qualified. Parker, chill with the ice, chill with the ice. And they started me in a wave that was a little bit slower than the pace that I had intended to run at. So the first like 6 miles were a little bit frustrating. What'd you say? No, not your period. I know, it sucked so bad. It sucks so bad. I was like, go figure. We got our period for this race. And all these men are standing in line to go to the bathroom in front of me. I'm like, I need to change a tampon before I start this race. Can someone please let me go in front of them, because you guys can go pee in the bush over there. Anyway, so I accomplished that. So the race starts on a downhill that's pretty steep. I was boxed in behind people that were going at a different pace than I was, which was a little bit frustrating, but I was like, I'm just going to be really mindful that I'm not running more than I need to run in this race. So what's nice about Boston, they have like a blue line that's painted on the road that is the shortest point from A to B, start to finish. And when there's no blue line, then you can follow like the double line. That's the shortest point from A to B across the course. So I didn't let myself get frustrated. I just checked my pace, and I was like, you know what? Like, I'm a little bit slower than I want to be right now, but maybe this is okay. Like, maybe this is for a reason. Chill. It was so crowded. A few people rolled their ankles in like the first mile or two. I thought there was gonna be a fight on the course at one point in time, because we were like 0.75 in, and someone wearing like noise canceling headphones ends up tripping someone else up and then rolling their ankle. The guy like lost his mind on that guy, and I was like, okay, moving on. Just don't get hurt. Just, like, mind your business. Like, let's just keep rolling.
That's really rude that someone tripped someone.
I know it. When you work that hard to go to a race and then you have someone that's not paying attention trip you, like, it's not cool.
Yeah.
So,
And that's what they do it on purpose. The person who tripped the other person.
good race hormone stage. I agree, but so day 2 or 3 appeared good peak race hormone stage. One thing that I've been dealing with is getting this abdominal pain when it's kind of like a side stitch. Different though. I had to get like a CAT scan for it, all these things that peaks during that time. I had to deal with that when I had my period, so I had to deal with that. I was like, please, like, see if I can, if I don't do intervals, I can usually get through that abdominal pain that I experienced with my period. So the only part of the course that was kind of like intervals was going through Newton Hills, right? So you have, you know, a little bit slower pace going up, and then you're trying to kind of take advantage of that back half of the hill that feels like an interval. So luckily I had no, so like, where is it? So I will show you if I can find it. Here it is. Hold on, stay tuned. Y'all stay tuned. You guys follow that guy on TikTok? He cracks me up. Anyways, here it is. So I had, this was the strategy today. I had a handheld bottle. I had 4 goos, spring energy gel. It's like 180 calories, 45 grams of carbs. So it's higher in carbs, and it goes down a little bit easier because it's more like the texture of, like applesauce. And then I had 2 handhelds. I ran with this one for the first 14 miles of the race, and I put in a carbohydrate solution that is, it's like 75 grams of carbs, and a liquid IV for electrolytes, and I still drank on the course. It looked like it was gonna be the perfect day, but the heat kind of crept up on me a little bit. It was really sunny out. So, and I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna do the best I can. I've got this bottle, I've got another one coming, I'm drinking on the course. Was doing the best I could, took all of my fuel exactly when I said I was going to take it. Right before mile 14, where I was going to look for my family, I started getting a little bit anxious, just a little bit worked up about if I was going to be able to see them on the course. My husband had the second bottle for me there, so that I could get that. Will you save this live? I missed the beginning. Yeah, I'm totally gonna save this live. I think it automatically records, and then I'll definitely download it. And I think I'll probably post it on Instagram as like a long form video. If it doesn't fit there, then I'll put it on my YouTube as well. Yeah, definitely the beginning was all the random stuff that was happening at the beginning of the race. I wore the Gooder sunglasses. Let me answer some more questions before I continue. Oh, thank you, Parker. Thank you for my soda's gone. All I wanted was a post-race soda. Yes, Riley.
I'm so strong that I can break this.
You are so strong, Riley. You are so strong. But don't break that, because that's Mommy's marshmallow stick. Okay. Okay, so this is where things got really interesting. At like 13 and a half, I was like, you know what? That's weird. I'm like, my quads are really hurting. And I was like, are they sore or are they cramping? And that's when I was like, this isn't good. So I got to mile 14. I'm like, you know what? Today is about how you react to the shit that happens in this race. So get your mind right. Every time like I question something, someone would pop up on the side of the road like, go, what runs you? Which always helped. But at 14, I got the bottle from Brian, the second bottle. And within like a mile and a half, I was like, okay, this isn't sore quads. My quads are freaking cramping. Yeah? Riley, can you share that with him for a second so I can keep them getting to the good part? Please don't go away. I'll tell you the rest. Yep. Can you, maybe you can just understand for a second, Riley? Okay, so I'm in phase 3 of What Runs You, and you're an inspiration. Ah, I love it. Okay, please don't go away. Sorry, my kids are arguing because my son said that he no longer likes girls, and Riley is a girl, so she's highly offended with that. And yes, but Riley, we're just gonna understand that Parker's 4, and he's saying that. Okay, thank you. Okay, so I get this bottle by mile 15. I realized that it's not tight quads and sore quads. My quads were cramping and starting to spasm. And I was like, okay, this isn't good. What's the best way that I can react to this? And in that moment, it sucked because aerobically, I felt like I was running light. Like I was just anticipating the end of the race and being able to like drop this hammer and freaking just gun it to the finish line. And I was like, every time I kind of hit the gas pedal a little bit, my quads were literally like shaking and starting to like seize. So I'm like, okay, abort A goal. We're going to go B goal. We're going to go 3:05. Yes, Parker. Okay, we got to find this Sonic toy. Riley, can you maybe let Parker borrow your Sonic toy for a second? Please. Pretty please. Can you give it to him? Please don't go away. I'm trying to navigate motherhood and post-race recovery and tell you guys about everything. Thank you, you guys. You're being amazing. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So I decided to back off on the pace that I felt like was starting to hurt like my quads, and at mile 16 I made a game day decision. I'm like, I'm no longer gonna look at my race and try to hold a pace. I'm no longer gonna look at my watch and try to hold a pace. Riley, please just let him use that. Thank you. Thank you. Can you please give him your Sonic toy, please? Please find it.
Please find her.
Okay, you're not going anywhere, thank you. I'm like, I'm getting to the part of the race that matters. Hold on, let me see if I can find okay, it's good anticipation. I know, I'm trying to like build it up to it. So mile 16, I'm like, okay, screw the watch. No longer looking at the watch. I'm just gonna run this by feel. If I feel my quads seizing, then I'm gonna back off on the pace. Period, end of story. My C goal was to finish strong. So my thought was, I can either serve my ego and try to keep the pace regardless of what my body was telling me at the time, which was slow down, your quads are gonna stop working. Or I can serve my C goal, which is finish strong, and I didn't want to have to walk in the race or walk away. And if I'm honest, I think if something like this would have happened, the last time, I've only had my quads and hamstrings ever cramp one time in a race, and that was my first marathon in 2010. And so I was like, if this would have happened then, I probably would have like, in the past, I probably would have walked off the course. I would have been like, I have one goal today, I'm not hitting it, I would have walked off the course. And today I'm like, not today, not today. Because every single time, I'm gonna tell you the mind game I played with myself, every single time my quads shook and seized, I was like, and I didn't look at my watch, just kind of like change the pace. I'm like, okay, back off, we won't hit that gas pedal right now. Every single time they cramped and effing hurt, I smiled and I was like, okay, this isn't so bad. Like I literally just did like a little like smile every single time. I'm like, we're gonna get through this. We're gonna react to this the best way we can. This hurts like hell, I'm just gonna smile through it. And like literally every single time it happened, that helped me. And I was so proud of myself for continuing to the race when I so easily could have walked off the race at any moment, gone to the med tent, been like, I can no longer walk. Please take care of my quads. Please take care of my hamstrings. I'm like, I'm just gonna slow down. And I had convinced myself I was gonna run probably like 25 minutes slower than what I crossed the finish line at. I'm like, in my head, I'm like, it's gonna be okay. Like, it's gonna be slower than what you wanted, but it's gonna be okay. Hardest mile. Every mile that came after mile 15 was the hardest mile of the race, because it was that mental battle in my head of, I'm running at a pace that feels so unbelievably aerobically light, but my body is saying, if you go faster, you're going to stop running. Your quads and your hamstrings are going to seize. Every single mile after mile 15 was hard because of that mental battle in my head, and like the realization that I wasn't going to do the AB goal, that I was going to have to do the C. What'd you say? I know it wasn't your A goal, but it was a friggin' 10-minute PR. So 10-minute PR, can't complain. And it like, what'd you say? On the most beasts of a course. I think a combination of things played into the cramping. I think it was the downhill. It's hard to train that much downhill by me. I get a lot of rollers. I don't get like downhill for miles and then beasts of hills on the second half. So I could have maybe tried to add like more hills at the end of like training. I don't know how much that would have helped. I really felt prepared for this. I think it was more a combination of I sweat like a psychopath when I have my period. So I was more sweaty. I finished literally covered, drenched in salt. It looked like someone took a salt shaker. So when you get dehydrated, your body's not going to hold on to your electrolytes. Your sodium is going to go to your skin. I was literally covered in salt when I finished. Had no idea that it was getting so hot when I was out there, because there was a breeze and I was like, I'm getting really hot. And then I'm like, oh no, maybe that's just like in my head. Like, there's a breeze. This feels all right. So yeah, I think that was, it was the best, literally the best I could do today. And it's made me so hungry to run my next race. So I'm going to pick one out for October and go friggin' crush it. And that was my first attempt at breaking 3. So if it wasn't for navigating through the cramping of my quads and my hamstrings, there's no doubt in my mind. There's no doubt in my mind that that would have happened. So I feel like PR Boston on your period, Alicia. Yeah, Victoria, come to London. Okay, so thing about London, my sister lives in London and I am absolutely going to run the London Marathon. So I got to get there. Victoria, come to London. Okay, so thing about London, my sister lives in London and I am absolutely going to run the London Marathon. So I got to get there. Every single time I like felt that one of you guys out on the course at Boston Marathon literally would shout my name. And I'm like, okay, back in the race. We're good. Yes, Parker. We can't go to London today, but we're going to go see Aunt Julie soon. Aunt Julie, I'm running London as my first marathon to raise money for cancer I had. Oh my God, Julian, that's incredible. That's absolutely incredible. Can you run the Grand Rapids Marathon with me October 16th? The one that I was thinking about was St. George Marathon in Utah, because you get like one big hill but a whole lot of downhill. I'm going to strengthen the hell out of my quads for it. Hold on 1 second. Parker wants me again. Yes, Parker. Julia will probably be at our house next week, and Grandma Jean comes too. Or this week, I mean, sorry. Grand Rapids Marathon sounds awesome though. Okay, I'm running Chicago for the MS Society. I'll definitely be at Chicago. I'll either run it with Miss Space Cadet, or I will be there to support her and cheer her on. Ohio, because everyone loves Ohio. Sam, You're always trying to convince us all to go to Ohio. Hear me out. Pitbull. You know, so Nicole Lynn, she's running Pittsburgh full marathon next week. You should follow her page. She's one of my best friends, and I will be there for the half marathon, but likely end up jumping in on her whole thing to support her through that. So depends on how my legs feel after my husband. Okay, so this is kind of some crazy stuff going on. As long as my legs are okay, Friday my husband
Are you gonna tell him?
yeah. Brian's like, is this the moment? Friday, my husband is running 48 miles across the Grand Canyon, and his friend that was going to run with him sprained his ankle. So he has requested that I figure out how to recover quick enough to join him running across the Grand Canyon. So you'll stay tuned for that, because that will be pretty incredible. I'll make a serious friggin' YouTube video out of that. So he's turning 40, and that's his birthday present to himself. So I might be running 48 miles across the Grand Canyon on Friday, and then the following week going to Pittsburgh to run Pittsburgh Marathon with Nicole Lynn. What was your time? I finished in 3:09. It was my C goal. I did not hit my A goal or B goal today, but we're celebrating. We're celebrating right now. It was a PR by 10 minutes, almost just under 10 minutes, on the friggin' hardest course of all time. Literally, like, that course punishes you out there. It punishes you. Did you cry? Yeah, I did. I crossed the finish line and painfully and very cold walked myself to meet up with Brian. We literally spotted each other at the exact same moment. Oh, and I had athletes, two of my athletes surprised fly out, one with her husband to the race, surprised me last night. I had Miss Space get it there. If you guys checked out my video on my page, Amber is one of my athletes. She came out to the race too. And then it was literally a sea of people. I did not go more than a quarter of a mile without someone shouting my name, telling me they love my TikTok page, and just like, the number of times I heard, celebrate every mile, you celebrating? And like, I knew it was for me, and it just like felt so good, so good. When I got to the finish line and Brian found me, it did not feel so good when all of the cramps that had started in the race at mile 14 and a half hit me the hardest literally the moment I stopped running. So thank God I did not stop to walk, and I just checked my ego, changed my pace, made the best decision I could make in the moment, and just reacted in a way that preserved my C goal, which is finish strong. And it was freaking awesome. So Amber, the girl that I made the video about that ran her first 5K, she works for the ambulance, and she was like massaging help my, like, trying to get like the cramp and the spasming to stop. My inner thigh seized, then my quad seized, then my hamstring seized. At least I was over the finish line. Did you get emotional? All, yeah, I cry. I can't even, anybody who's on the What Runs You team and goes to our team calls, I cry all of the time. I'm always in my emotions. I cried literally the entire week leading into the race. There was moments in the race where my eyes were watering up, because I know the person that I was and what I would have done in that same situation that I was facing had it happened years ago. You can read a little bit more about that if you go to my Instagram. I kind of shared my pre-race thoughts going into it and where my mindset was, but I was fueled by like happiness, like positivity, grace, light, like everything so good leading into the race that no matter what happened, A, B, or C goal, I knew before the race started that I was gonna celebrate it and be happy. How do we join the team? If you go to my link in my bio, you will find my website, whatrunsyu.com, and you can send me, I'm getting a whole lot of inquiries right now, but you can send me an inquiry on there, whatrunsyu@gmail, or sign up. There's two types of plans. I'll just tell you really quick. One is Timebox. You just literally pay for the plan. There's a weekly team call that you can go to, ask all questions, be part of our team. And then there's a subscription that's like long duration if you want a little bit more support from me one-on-one, and more small group coaching calls. That's my pitch for that. Thank you for asking. Join the team. Nicole Lynn's one of my athletes.
Hi, Nicole.
Brian says hi, Nicole. We got a lot of my athletes on this. Kathy, or not Kathy, Carrie, she's on here. She's also one of my athletes. I'm gonna scroll up and kind of read through your guys' questions because I kind of just rambled on about how the whole race went. Wolfgang, okay, let me see. So cool to meet you. Oh my gosh, there was people at the end of the race. Wait, I'm wondering if that's you. When I got to the end of the finish line, I was looking for Brian, and two followers from TikTok, you can keep that off, spotted me, and I was like, I haven't found my family yet. Can you just give me a hug? And they were like, oh my God, yes. We took pictures. It was awesome. I can't wait to go through my Instagram like message requests. I want to go through that because I know there was a lot of videos and pictures taken out there too. So it was awesome. Did so good. Cheered for you louder near the finish line. Thank you. Let me see. I'm going to scroll up and answer some of your guys' questions. So cool to see you run today. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm going to save this live and repost it to if it's too long for Instagram, I'll post it to my YouTube. And if I run that 48 miles across the Grand Canyon with Brian on Friday, I'll have YouTube video up for that and for this race as well, so you can kind of see like the behind the scenes like weird Alicia that I should probably expose more on here. My friend Amber that was with me was taking all sorts of videos. She's like, you do some weird shit, girl. In a good way, mostly like weird stretches and stuff like that. Okay, crying about the progress is the best kind of crying. Girl, yes, be in your emotions. That's how I feel. Saw you on the course today. Made me want to be a member of your team hopefully soon. Do it. Totally, like, you will be so taken care of, I promise you. I've been coaching. I started my business 6 years ago, but I've been coaching for a long time, and I worked in the behavioral health space, so a lot of that kind of gets applied in my coaching style, and plans are awesome. It's a really nice way, whether you're just getting started running, to kind of start progressing yourself and have a path forward. And if you've been running but you're not super consistent, it's nice to finally just kind of get a plan and be like, okay, this is what I do today. Here's the videos to help me like follow along, and this is what I do tomorrow. Are you on Strava? I'm not on Strava, only because I haven't figured out how to post on there where I don't like expose all the roads that I run on, mostly so I don't get murdered by like a creepy man. No offense to the men who follow me, but most of you guys who follow me are I think it's like 96% female. It's crazy. I love it. Okay, scrolling up. How is Heartbreak Hill? Not that bad. Aerobically good. Like I crush hills all the time in training, but my quads were so bad going up it. So I just was like I said, at mile 16, I stopped looking at my watch and I'm like, I'm just gonna run by feel, and I just slowed down, just kind of kept going up it. I'm like, if I stop, this cramping is probably going to get worse. Just slow down the pace and go up. I had convinced myself I was going to run significantly slower than what I crossed the finish line and saw. I was like, oh shit, all right, that's all right. How are my legs now? Pretty painful, especially driving home. So we're going to give ourselves a checkpoint and stop in New Jersey, stay with a friend overnight. Riley, unfortunately, we got to be back because she has school tomorrow. What place did you get? I have no idea. I have no idea. I seriously want you to do the coach, to be my coach. I love you. You should let me be your coach. Let me be your coach. I would love to coach you. Give me some time. If you send me an inquiry, understand that it's going to take me a minute to get back. But if you join, we will have team calls this week, and I can chat you up. I love coaching, and I really do the best I can. It's such an unbelievable passion of mine. I just like to know that the athletes that I'm working with are gonna undergo this transformation as they train and cross the finish line, so confident, so fulfilled in the progress that they made in their training, and they get to like witness that when they cross the finish line. Like, you cross the finish line, it's almost like you're like staring back at yourself, and you're like, I did a damn thing. I did the damn thing today. And it's just, whenever I can cross the finish line with them, it's like I am even more emotional for that experience than I am myself. It's so unbelievably inspiring. Some of us are wondering how your legs were after the race. Really painful. cramped really hard. I have drank 80 ounces of winning because of you. You're amazing. Oh my God, I'm acting. I tried to every single person that like shouted my name or like held up a sign for me or said something. I kept trying to like acting. I tried to every single person that like shouted my name or like held up a sign for me or said something. I kept trying to like wave or like be like, I love you. It meant the world to me and really helped me like snap myself out of it when I was like in my pain. Brian and Alicia are gonna Survivor Man 48 miles in the Grand Canyon. I know, girl, that's gonna freaking, Brian's laughing. He's so ready for it. And I'm like, wait, but I got my cover. Sending you love and congratulations from Australia. Holy shit. Can I come?
What's up, Aldi?
I want to come visit you. I want to go there. My time was a 3:09. Of course, I cheered you on from mile 13 in Wellesley. Wellesley Scream Tunnel was insane. It was absolutely insane and so intense. It was almost a little like overwhelming how loud it was. I run a lot of like
exit 86 for I-90
south
for
navigation.
New York City.
I run so many like quiet streets like by myself, so I'm like, I forgot how loud this is. I personally, if I'm honest, I like mid-sized races the most, where you're not like fighting for position or like weaving or anything, and you know like you can get into like a hydration station and not get like tripped up. You're my idol, Grand Canyon. My goodness, you are amazing. Oh, thank you, Lindsay. Let me see what other messages on the 50th anniversary. Oh my God, I got to meet Catherine Switzer, and I have pictures and some video from that. She is the woman in 70 or 60, was 68 or 67, who registered for the race, put her name down as Kay Switzer, and ran the Boston Marathon. And before it was sanctioned for women to be allowed to run the Boston Marathon, and she was there, and a lot of the other 8 women who originally ran Boston 50 years ago as the first woman that officially ran it. And I got to meet them, and I just like bawled, sobbed. And I was like, I don't know if I just embarrassed myself, but they autographed my paper. I can't wait to post that video. I've got so many videos to share with you guys. Oh my gosh, okay, scrolling up. I'm never going to run another one after London. No, don't say that, Jillian. Run more. It's you cross the finish line, and one of two things are going to happen. You're going to either cross and be hungry to do it again, because you either hit your goal and you're like, shit, I can do it, like I can really go crush it now, or you're going to miss your goal and you're going to be hungry to do it again, or maybe you don't. But I think your training has to set you up to have a great experience no matter what, and you should have an A, B, C goal. Your A goal, maybe that's the time you want to hit. B goal, a little bit wider range, and your C goal, really how you want to walk away from the race feeling. And that's the goal that I had to go with today, was how do I want to experience this race? How do I want to feel when I finish this? I want to feel strong, and that's the goal I went with. And it was a great day no matter what. If you give yourself the right expectations for the race, there is no doubt in my mind you will have a great experience at your race. You would advise us all not to do that. Thanks, Claire. I know. I'm breaking my own like rules here. Okay, did you run Boston? Yes, I did run Boston. Where have you been? Where have you been? It was just a few hours ago. No, it's okay. I'm not trying to be mean. Yes, I did just run Boston. It was awesome though. Of course, we did Women Supported Women, who paved the path for all of us. Yes, my time was 3:09. Love how real you are. Thank you. I appreciate that. And my kids have finally fallen asleep. They did not fall asleep when I was at the climax of my story and trying to share all of the nitty-gritty with you guys. Running today in hotter temperatures than I thought it was going to be, running on my period, navigating through intense cramping of the quads and the hamstrings, and deciding, you know what, abort A, B goal, we're going to go with C goal. That was a lot of epic shit that happened today. Maybe not quite as epic as crushing 3 hours today at the Boston Marathon, but it's all right. Now I'm hungry as hell to go do it probably in October, and I'm leaning towards the St. George Marathon in Utah in October. So you guys can come help me get through that and break 3 hours. Congrats from the eastern shores of Maryland. Amazing. You don't live too far from me. We were cheering you on at mile 9. You were looking so strong. I was feeling strong. I was feeling so strong then. There was no cramping going on in my quads. I was like hungry, like digging in. My race motto or mantra today was dig deep, rise up. Dig deep, rise up. And that's kind of what I chanted in my head going up Heartbreak Hill. And then you know the song Sia, Alive? Like, I'm alive. That was the song I was basically singing in my head. I felt like everything that's changed in my life in this last year, not just for myself, but for my family as well, just put me in such a good headspace. And like that support it was unbelievable, absolutely unbelievable. And that song, I feel like, kind of reflects that. It's like I feel like I ran this race as a completely different woman than I have ever run a race before. For those of you guys that maybe just joined, I posted on Instagram just kind of like my pre-race thoughts and just kind of realizations before starting the race, and really just sharing with you guys that in the past my race motivation was more like going into a race with a chip on my shoulder, like this race owes me something, I need to feel better, I need to heal or fix something in some way. Like it was heavy and more negative fuel to try to perform my best. And this is the first race that I just feel freaking whole. Like it was fueled by love, light, grace, happiness, all the good things. And it's why I was able to celebrate out there with you guys every freaking mile. How many ounces of water do you drink every day? Please post or share post-race photos. I totally will. There's so many videos and pictures that were taken today. I drank probably 60 to 80 ounces of fluid every day. I carb loaded for the 3 days leading into the race. More than that, I was eating carbs the whole week before. Do I need more light? Sorry guys, let's light a little. I'll lean forward. I was carb loading with like 650 grams of carbs the 3 days leading into the race. I did way better on it the day before the race. Fell a little bit short the 2 days before, but got in a lot of fuel and fluids, a lot of electrolytes too. That's why I'm so surprised with the cramping, but there was a little bit of a breeze and it made it seem like it wasn't quite as hot as it was. I think I needed more electrolytes on that course today. So you finished, congrats. 534 for women. How many total women was that were racing? I'm afraid London is like 60K people, haha. Oh my gosh, you have so many people. You were born and raised in Wellesley. That's so cool. I loved running there. Like before the race, going out for some runs around Boston. The last time I ran Boston was literally a decade ago. It was 10 years ago, and I was sick. I had the flu. I had qualified a year and a half prior to it. Too late in the year to be able to race that following year. So I ran sick because I was like, no one's going to stop me. I'm young and dumb. I'm going to run this race with the flu. And it's 90 degrees. And at mile 18, I ended up in the ambulance with 2 IVs. And I thank them for giving me the fluids, got back on the course, and jogged myself into the finish line. Don't remember much of that race, literally at all. Glad I didn't, because as I was running, I was like, I forgot how much of a punishment this course is. And I'm glad I did not remember that. How do you plan your water and gel breaks? I literally, you can still kind of see it there. I had everything written on my hand. I took a gel. I took Spring Energy. It's higher in calories and has more carbs than like GU. It has 45 grams of carbs, and it, what else? And 180 calories. I took one 15 minutes before the race, and then I took one at mile 7, 14, and 20, because I also had 2 bottles of 10.5 ounces of carbohydrate solution and Morton carbohydrate mix and liquid IV. And I was also drinking on the course. So I had this for the first 14 miles. And then the second one, I drank the entire thing for the second half of the course. And then I was drinking, I drank at mile course fluids, mile 6, 9, I think half marathon point, and then what the heck, I think it was like every 3 miles or every 4 miles I took fluids on the course, and then every 4 miles on the course I was taking fluids from the course, and then I was drinking this every 2 miles. Do you have a goal time? How much did you crush it? I did. I'm going to share it for those of you guys who jumped in late on this. I'm going to download this video and I'll share it to my Instagram. If it's too long for that, I'll put it on my YouTube for you guys to watch, kind of post-race chat. Yep, ran a 3:09, not upset at all. Okay, it's getting dark out. Maybe I should abort live. I'm just trying to see if I missed anything else. I'm just kind of going back up. Any other questions before we hop off? It's getting dark. That's the only reason why I'm going to end it. Thank you so much, you guys. Thank you so much for supporting me. It just was absolutely unbelievable to run 26.2 miles and literally not go a quarter of a mile without someone screaming "What runs you?" or "Celebrate every mile," or "Coach Alicia," or "I follow your TikToks," literally. And they were holding signs. It was making me emotional as I ran, but it was like being bottled up as fuel, and it just felt like so good. Get some rest, my dear. In my best mom voice, Claire, I love you. Thank you for that. Yeah, I'm gonna rest up, eat some more food, and just thank you guys from the bottom of my heart. It really meant a lot to me. Would you say you saw me at mile 18? Looked awesome. Oh my gosh, I was like, hang steady. Thanks. What is that? Thank you, Coach, for creating this space and training us all. Congratulations and be well. Thank you. Yeah, you guys, I will share this video and more updates. So many videos were taken this weekend, and I just can't wait to make a YouTube video about it and share it all with you guys. And I can't wait to like go to my next race, which will be an easier course, I can promise you that, and like just friggin' hit that gas pedal. I tracked you right when you finished. I had chills. Rest and enjoy the race afterglow. It feels good, girl. It feels good. You're such an inspiration. You crush it. Can't wait to be part of more of your marathons. Oh, thank you. I'm like, it feels so, after 6 years, like I am totally back in race mode. Like, more races to come. 3:09 was my time. We're celebrating all 26 miles today, Alicia. So proud of you. 26.2. Thank you. Oh my God, you make me guys not want to get off. You guys are all still saying such nice stuff. Fellow PA runner, where do you live in PA? Thank you for being such a big inspiration. Hey, Bridget. Bridget's one of my athletes who literally surprised me last night and came to Pittsburgh. Oh my God, that's where I go in 2 weeks. So much traveling in the next 2 weeks. We go to Arizona on Wednesday for Brian to run, my husband to run across the Grand Canyon, and I might be jumping in, and then we go to Pittsburgh for Nicole Lynn's marathon. How do you feel about running on the treadmill? I avoid it at all costs because it usually hurts my hips. You can do it in your training, still get you in good shape and conditioning, but be mindful that it might change the outcome of your race a little bit if your training on the treadmill is 100% on the treadmill, and I would put it on an incline when you're running like 2%. How do you contact you to join your program? First half marathon in September. My website is linked in my bio here. You can send me an email, whatrunsyu@gmail.com. Send me an inquiry on the email. On the website, it's going to be a little bit hard to get back to it in the next like couple days here though. So if you wanted to join really quick, like there's time box plans where you purchase a plan and there's one team call a week that comes with that. It's a bigger group call. Or you can do a subscription that's like longer term training if you want me to oversee your training a little bit more and be able to help you make adjustments. That's the premium subscription that's ongoing. The other one, it's time box. You just buy the plan and then you participate in the one weekly call. All those plans come with a fuel guide. It comes with your training, everything you need to do, either subscription or time boxed. There's videos to help you know what you need to do, strength training, mobility, stability, literally all of that stuff. And you get the most amazing team by your side. So many of the women on our team have not just been my athletes, a lot of them have been with me for years and have become the best friends that I have in my life, including two of them that showed up in Boston for me today. Literally flew in from Minnesota, flew in from Pennsylvania, surprised me last night at the race. How do we contact you? Oh yeah, I just did that one.
Take exit 17.
Are you
Left at the fork.
American? I am American. I was born in the Dominican Republic. My mom is like mostly Irish, like light color hair, blue eyes, light skin. My dad is Dominican and Venezuelan. I was born in Dominican Republic, but raised by my mom in New York. Long Island, New York is where I grew up. Mile 3, but couldn't find. Mile 3, you definitely wouldn't have seen me. It was like so chaotic. I was boxed in. I started in a wave that was slower than the pace that I had intended to run, and I just got immediately like blocked for 3 to 4 miles. It was really kind of bad through mile 6, but I was like, I just stayed patient. I'm like, I can't do all this weaving to get around. Love the team calls. I know they're like, I live for our team calls. Did you get the most amazing team? You do? Yes, we do. Chrissy, we really do. Can't wait to have a group of runners to chat with and learn from. Yes, totally join our team. Join our team. Best decision you'll ever make. The thing is though, I think a big part of you joining anything to do with like a team community is you have to participate, right? So you can't join a team and then just kind of not give access to yourself to other runners on the team because they want to be there too. They're part of a team, right? So the best way to get the most out of the plan, if you were to sign up for one of my plans, is to participate in team calls, send me direct messages, ask me questions, give me updates on how your training is going, and be part of the team. Use your Instagram stories to like post race or post run like updates and like sweaty pics, and it's like a great way to have accountability and really feel connected. He said, I'm so slow, but I want to do a marathon. Huge bucket list item. 26.2 miles is 26.2 miles. You can do it. Doesn't matter the pace you go. Shout out to Brian for being his amazing support. Good luck on your run, dude. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Brian doing the driving right now. When he came, he's like, love you guys. Sorry, it's getting dark in the car. When Brian came out at mile 14 with the handheld bottle for me, literally there was a guy that was running next to me for like 2 miles, and he was like, first he was like, you have a lot of people like at this race like cheering you on. I was like, I know, they're my family. Really, they were all of you guys who followed me on TikTok that were at Boston Marathon cheering. And then when Brian comes running out with the water bottle, he's like, what the heck? He's like, that's some like amazing support. He's like, that's insane. He's like, I don't know why I never thought to have someone give me fluids on the race. And I was like, I got my hype team, and my hype team knows how to help me. Shout out. Oh, that's awesome. If you can't answer on live, understand, but what price ranges do you have as a coach? So the time box plans, you pay for all at once, and they average $60 per month. So it depends on the length of the plan, right? So the 8-week plan, but I always do week of recovery. So the 9-week plans are $119.95, because that sounds better than $120 dollars, and then so they average like $60 a month, and then my premium subscription is $99 per month. It's literally incredible though. You will get a lot of support and guidance. You're running your first 5K in 2 weeks. Which running shoes do you recommend? Oh girl, you gotta get fitted. So many good shoes out there. I wear probably like 8 different brands of running sneakers for various like runs, types of runs, and I love all of the brands. Oh, yeah. It's hard when there's a cutoff for a race, right? So it's your first. Stay consistent in your training, right? I've had one of my athletes raced Harrisburg Marathon, and 2 of them, and they came in last in the race. I advocated for them, went to the finish line. I'm like, you will not close down this finish line. Leave this freaking sign up. They're crossing this race and they're going to get their medal from you. And so they're like, okay, well, what time are they coming through? I was like, they're going to come through like 10 minutes after this thing closes. I'm like, you do not close down this finish line until my athletes cross the finish line. And they did it. You just get someone to advocate for you. Let me see here. Okay. And you should do it anyways. It doesn't even matter. 26.2 is 26.2. Go freaking run that race.
It's getting dark out.
I know it's getting dark. I'm sorry. Honestly, team calls are therapy. They're everything so inspiring. I know our calls are the best. All right, I will end this because it's getting so dark out. I love you guys. Thank you so much, so much for being here, supporting me, getting me through that race. You guys were my fuel out there, and I bottled that shit up and celebrated every mile exactly as I intended to. So thank you. I'm going to save this, post it on Instagram or YouTube. Bye guys, love you, bye.